Hello everyone and welcome to Blind Beauty. I'm Jennifer. What we are doing today, I'm doing a somewhat holiday glam look. It's this right here. So this is the look I did today. I did it in a get ready with me style where I'm chit-chatting with y'all and asking you questions and all that good stuff. So it does take me a little bit longer than it might you to do it. So, just thought we could chit-chat a little bit and I explain what all I'm doing as well. But I also included the hair as well in this video to show you a little bit of how you can get a quick look, including hair. So that's what it looks like from the back. But it is possible to get ready for a holiday get-together or whatever quickly. And that's basically what I was showing you in this video. There were a few difficulties along the way, and I did bounce around a little bit here and there. But, whenever you're doing your makeup, you might not always go in the same order all the time. So I'm just showing you that it is possible to get ready quickly, whether you need to, it's an impromptu get-together, or whether you have kids or whatever and you want to still look real beautiful with a real red lip and goldy color, well, bronzy gold color eye. To me, this is more goldy. But this right here is the finished look. And I used all drugstore or affordable products. I believe it's all drugstore that I used in this. So I do hope you hit that subscribe button to see more like this. And I have great videos coming up. I have a tutorial on how to do little DIY vases type things, or glass containers, painted containers. I have that coming up Friday, and then I have an e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation review coming up on Saturday. I have my Sunday Superstars. Monday is going to be Power of Makeup, and next Thursday you're going to be able to see me use makeup I don't like to do a tutorial. So, I hope that you do subscribe so you can see all that, and you can also follow me on all my social media. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the video. Alright, we're going to jump in here and get started here. First off, I've already primed my face. I used the Monistat Chafing Relief Powder Gel to do that. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to use this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation on my face. I'll dot it around, and then I'm going to use the e.l.f. powder brush to buff that in today. I know normally I don't use a brush, but I thought y'all might want to see me change it up just a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. I just take this and I dot like 2 or 3, swipe a little bit on the forehead, a couple swipes, go a couple swipes on the cheek, focusing it closer to the center, at least for the first swipe. Then I take a little bit on the chin, under the, chin, on the jawline, then I'll do another swipe with whatever's left over on my forehead, and I also do some right on the nose. They recommend to use your foundation more towards the center of your face than anything, and then blend out towards the ears. But for me, I just kind of put it everywhere. But I'm taking this powder brush and I'm going to blend that in here. And I'll probably do 2 layers because the powder brush seems to sink in. The foundation seems to sink in more with the powder brush. And this is a good size brush if you haven't tried it. It is the e.l.f. powder brush. It's a flat type brush, but it makes short order of doing your makeup. To me, this is faster than using an actual beauty blender, but sometimes it doesn't give you as good coverage. Sometimes. So, but I thought I'd do this because there's so many times that some people may want to look glamorous or look beautiful, have a holiday look going, whether it's for work, some type of holiday party, whatever the case may be. But they just don't want to spend a whole lot of time on makeup. They don't have very long to do their makeup. So that's where this comes in. I thought, you know, do something quick, because not everybody wants to mess around with a whole lot of makeup all the time. Doing another layer of this on my face. Now this is decent coverage, but for the lip I'm going for, at least, you know, I like to have a really good base. So, and I know I probably should do my eyes first and all that, you know, but I just always prefer to do my foundation first, just personal preference. But, you know, I'm just going to work this in now. And I thought I'd do this real time today, just to kind of show y'all that it is possible to get a look, a good look at that, pretty quick. So, now this does take me a little longer whenever I'm filming than it would not filming, because, you know, whenever I'm filming, I'm explaining things as I go, so that takes a little bit of time. Now I'm going to take this, not Wet n Wild, Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, and I'm putting this on my ring finger here. And I'm going to dot this under the eyes, and then I've got a Swisspers sponge that I'll show you here in a moment that I'll use. Now I rub my fingers together to kind of help get, you know, it evenly distributed more. So, but I put that under the eyes a little bit. Now I'm using this Swisspers sponge. I've heard it compared to the Micro Beauty Blender, so I don't know how true that is. I've never tried the Micro or Mini or whatever you want to call it, Micro Mini Beauty Blender. This is the only really small sponge I've tried so far. So, but I'm just using that to blend that in a little bit. Now I didn't put a whole lot there, so I'm going to add just a tiny bit more here. Well, actually not a tiny bit, but yeah. So, and you might hear things at times. My dogs are playing. I also have Christmas music going in the background. I know some people don't like Christmas music, but I do, especially this time of year, you know. And I'm doing that kind of in an upside down triangle under the eyes. Not a huge one, but, you know. So, I spend more time, I guess, on my actual canvas than I do anything else. Even whenever I'm getting ready, not talking to the camera. So, now you can take this and go down the nose as well if you want to. You know, or use a different concealer that's lighter to go down the nose. And I believe that's in the shade Medium that I'm using. I take the little sponge tip applicator off after it gets so far down. So, but now what I'm doing is I'm going to take this Wet n Wild Mega Glo Highlighter right here. And I'm going to put this on the high points of my cheeks over here. You know, and then I will take this down the nose and all that too, but do the high points of my cheeks here. See that right there? I just swipe it back and forth, then I go down the nose just a little bit. And I'm doing like a little fan shape between the brows. So, go right there on the Cupid's bow. Now I'm not doing a whole lot today as far as, you know, a huge eye look, but to me this is somewhat of a glamorous look. Because, you know, well, everybody has their own version of glamorous. You know, to me, if it's glowy, you've got contour, you got good lashes going, you got liner, whatever, you know, to me, I'd consider that a glamorous look. So, okay. I tried to blend that out as much as I could. I used my fingers to blend that this time. Let me put the lid back on this here. But, you know, now I plan on doing it all out, really taking my time, really doing in-depth eyes and, you know, all that soon. But I thought just for today, I would do this version here. Now I'm going to take that same e.l.f. powder brush that I had, and I'm going into my Coty Airspun powder. Here we go. This is the Coty Airspun that I'm using. Now this is really good for people with oily skin. You know, and this isn't the best brush really to use with this, but usually whenever you're in a hurry, you're wanting to get it done and get it done now, you know, you want to go with as few brushes, products, whatever, as you can. But this also lets you buff it in more. I know I covered up the highlight a little bit, but, you know, I will be adding more highlight. Go on top of my lids. And get right there under that eyes to set that concealer. And no, I'm not speeding through this. You can hear my voice is normal. And I go down my neck, because I did put foundation down there too. You know, but yeah, you can really buff with this brush better than you can a regular brush, but me, I like a fluffier brush usually. So, and that's what y'all usually see me use, is a fluffy brush. But, okay, now that I've got powder all over my shirt, that's the one thing, whenever I'm doing makeup, I tend to get it all over me, so a lot of times I will wear a robe or something like that instead. So we're going to jump on in here to the eyes real quick. Now I'm taking my e.l.f. contour palette. Whenever I said earlier you use whatever, you know, try to get multitasking products here. This is what that looks like. And I'm taking a Wet n Wild brush. I believe this is a large crease brush. I'm not sure. Yeah, they don't have names on them. So, I'm taking that, and I'm going to go into this orangey, well, this warmer type contour, and that's going to be my, kind of like my transition. And I'm going to go from outer corner to inner corner. So, start at the outer corner and kind of buff it on, really. Now, you can use a base, but I've already used my concealer, you know, and set it with the powder. So I'm not doing a base today. That is one trick. You use a concealer, a good concealer, you know, on the eyelids. For some people, at least me, it does help with acting as a primer. And I've learned to set my base, now I'm doing the other eye here, you know, set it a little bit. Makes everything kind of blend a little bit easier and really go on smoother in my book. So, now I'm going to take that next shade right next to it here, right there. It's a little cooler tone and deeper. And I'm using the same brush, like I said, multitask, and going right there in the crease, really pushing it into that socket more. I'm not blowing this out at all. I'm just focusing it right in that crease. Windshield wiper motions. You know. And then dip it in there again. And going again. Push it in the socket. And then just drag it right through the crease. Your crease is like where your eyeball ends and your brow bone. Basically where your brow bone and eyeball would meet is what I call what I'm referring to as the crease here. So, you know, that right there is the crease. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this is a Color Tattoo Pure Pigment. I believe it's in Breaking Bronze. No, I got the wrong one out. Try to grab the right one here. Here's Breaking Bronze. I've got a few different ones of these, so, you know, whenever you're getting ready, sometimes you do grab the wrong thing. So, or you decide on changing your mind or whatever. That happens to me a lot, especially, you know, when doing a look. Now this here, I'm using that same brush, but I'm going to mist it with my e.l.f. Mist and Set here. Because a pure pigment like this, it really can get messy. So, you know, this kind of helps that a little bit. It looks like this right here. You know, real pretty color. Let me do a quick swatch here. That's what it looks like on my hand. You know, but I'm going to dip into that using the brush and get it more on the side than on the top. Right there. And I'm going to put this right on the actual lid. Now this is meant for like creases and whatnot, so it can be a little tricky at times. You know, but see how that goes on the lid? Real pretty, warm tone. Now I go turn my brush around and do the outer area as well. You know, really just focusing this on, and this would make a real pretty one shadow look. I've done that before with it. Now I'm doing the other eye here. But the pure pigments, they do stay pretty well too for me. So, you know, I highly recommend these if you can find them. I know you can get them on Amazon. eBay usually has them real cheap. So, but, you know, during Christmas time, to me, it's bright colors, golds, silvers, red, green, blue. Now, I don't usually see a whole lot of purple, but, you know, but I'm sure some people would consider purple a, you know, color like Christmassy. So, but I just went back into that. I missed it again just to really get a good moistness to it. And I'm putting this, focusing it more on the inner half now. Going on that inner corner a little bit as well. Now you could take a different highlight and go on that inner corner if you want to. But you can even take this and just put it in the crease, which is what I just did. I took whatever was left on my brush basically and went in my crease. So, like I said, focus it more on the inner corner. And then pretty much what's left is what I pull out on the rest of the lid. Then I'm going to take it, and I don't even flip it. I just put whatever's left in the crease there. That's what that looks like. So now I'm going to go in Now this brush is one, well, let's grab a different brush actually to do this. I'm just going to get a brush like this. I believe this is the yeah, this is their blending brush by e.l.f. I was going to show you that you could use a big brush to do this, but I'd rather use one that I typically use. So, but you can tell, you know, it's a real bright eye look to me, at least. You know, you can put different highlighter in the center if you want to, or on the inner corner. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this white looking highlight from the contour palette on this blending brush. And we're going to go right under the brow here, focusing it more at the arch area. Really just kind of swirling it on, and you know. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that on my pinky here and put that in the inner corner. So, you know, like I said, this is a fairly easy look that anyone could do fairly quickly. You know, and I just have powder really all over me here. But yeah, anyone can do this and do it fairly quick. So, I do have powder everywhere. That's the one thing with a loose powder, you kind of have a powder explosion whenever you use it. So, but before I move on, I'm going to take this Blistex Lip Medics real quick, and I'm going to put some of that on my lips. My lips are a little chapped. So, that right there. You know, anytime you're wanting to use a matte lip or a bold lip, I recommend moisturizing them somehow. And to me, I've always heard that stuff with mentholatum helps to plump them a little bit, so that's why I use that partly. So, now I'm going to take this Rimmel Scandalized Nude Pencil right there. I'm going to take that and put it in my waterline, lower waterline. So, I got glitter on my face here. There we go. I think I got it. Put that on the lower lash line. Well, waterline. It's hard to talk while I do this because I don't want to poke myself in the eyeball. You know, that's not a fun thing to do. Don't poke yourself in the eyeball. You know, which does happen pretty regularly. I'm not great at doing liner anyway, so, you know, that does happen somewhat regularly, actually. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to grab a, well, where'd it go here? Oops, wrong one. Okay. I'm just going to grab this angled liner brush by Real Techniques. You know, and I didn't do a real big look on the eyes, but I still want to do a little something something on the lower lash line. I'm going back into this contour palette and using this darker shade here. It's the lower right hand side whenever I'm looking at it here. So I'm going to put this right on that lower lash line real lightly. Try to get it close to the lash line. Really, just kind of giving a little bit extra definition there. So are y'all happy Christmas is here and, you know, all that? You got a lot of plans for the holiday season? You know, some people do. Some people have a real big holiday. Some people, like myself, just stay home and don't really do anything. You know, and that's okay. There's not quite enough definition for me on the outer V, so I'm going back into that same color I just put on the lower lash line. I'm going to use this blending brush from e.l.f. that I used and just kind of put this on the outer V a little bit and work it into the crease. Just adds a little bit extra contour to your eye. Focusing it mostly on that outer V. You know, for me, I don't do anything for the holidays, really. Don't go anywhere, don't, you know, nothing. I just literally stay home. This Christmas, it'll probably be just my dogs and I, again, this year, which is okay. I put my palette up and I'm not done yet. So, but I'm going to take this brush here. This is, I believe, the Wet n Wild contour brush. And I'm not doing a real heavy contour today, but I still thought I'd show you this. This step at least. This brush here is good for doing contour. We're doing more of a bronzer in a way. I'm taking this color here at the lower left hand side of this palette. Going to use that. Really swirl my brush in this. And really just kind of real lightly go on the hollows of my cheeks. You know. And you could do a huge contour with this palette. Going on the temples, hairline. Kind of doing an E and a 3 on my face. So. But yeah, I have dogs, so I can't really just pick up and go unless I want to take them with me. So. But that right there is what I just used. You know, because it's a lighter color, it doesn't look as harsh. But then we're staying with the same brush. And I'm going to go into this mauve blush. Yeah. Mauve blush by Colormates. Let me get rid of this little... I usually get rid of all these little bitty brushes, but I hadn't yet. It is gone now. But really swirl my brush in there. This is the only... It says mauve, but to me it's more of a plummy color. You know, that's what it looks like swatched with the brush. I'll show you what it looks like swatched just straight up. This is the only one that's a single that I have like this. You know, so, but to me this reminds me more of a in from the cold type blush. So, use my little contour palette mirror here. So, you smile really good, and then you find the apples of the cheeks, and then I'm going to blend backwards, but I'm going to focus, this brush has an angle to it, I'm going to focus it more whenever I'm on the apples at the very tip of this brush. And then as I move backwards, I use the entire thing. Whew, that's some harsh blush. When in doubt, blend it out. But we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I mean, that is some pink blush. But we can fix that. I'm going to show you how to fix it. Here. Yeah. But that right there is what that blush would look like if I left it alone, which I'm not planning to do. So, see, normally I can't see blush, so I automatically assume if I can that it's way too much. You know, for people that can see, it might not be too much, in your opinion. You know, but I'm just using my powder brush, kind of blending that back a little more. Kind of blending it into my bronzer a little bit. So, you know, but I normally don't wear this color blush. So, you know, I think that's a little bit better. I think. Normally I don't wear that color blush. I usually use a corally type blush, rather. Kind of threw me doing that. Now I'm using the Wet n Wild Mega Glo Highlighter in Precious Petals. And I'm using my e.l.f. small tapered brush. Now, highlight, yes, I do like to go overboard because I really like to see my highlight sometimes. So I'm using that brush and I'm going on the high points of the cheeks here. In this lighting, you can't always tell whether I have a pop-in highlight. It's whenever you're not in harsher lighting, because I have a lamp over here pointed right to me. Eventually I want to get me a ring light. I think that would be best, but, you know. But I'm using this contour. Now, I could have used that same brush to do this, but with having as much issue as I did with the blush, you know. Now, the issue with highlight is it does accentuate texture. Like, if you can see, right all in here I have texture, and it really can bring that out. And yes, I'm just piling this stuff on, ain't I? But, see, I don't know if you can see that highlight. Now I'm going to go down my nose. Basically do that fan type shape. Now I'm going to just kind of buff it. Now, one thing I've learned to do too is to bring it up onto the brow bone a little bit, like on the outer edges. So, I just take whatever's kind of left on the brush pretty much and go on the outer parts of the brow bone. So, but that's some pretty poppin' highlight in my book. I'm going to just real lightly dip in there. Cupid's bow, dimple on my chin. So, but yeah, that kind of helps with the blush situation in my book. So, but I mean, Colormates blushes are pretty pigmented. So, you know, if you like a good pigmented blush, you might go for that. So, but now I'm going to go back to the eyes here. I'm going to take this Maybelline Master Precise Skinny, I believe is what it's called here. It's the one in the hot pink looking tube. And we're going to line the upper lash line just a little bit. I'm not going hog wild here. I'm not great with liner in the first place, so, you know, I'm still getting the hang of it. But go as close as we can to that lash line. Now, I always tend to make it a little thicker right in the middle. Okay. Now what you can do too is you can take a liquid and go over this as well. But, you know, I'm just doing this for today. And I do start at the inner corner. And I do small strokes usually. To me, it helps to look into a mirror. Clean the tip off a little bit. There we go. Okay. The thing with this is you have to really make sure it's rolled up good. Otherwise, you don't get much pigment. So, but that's what that is looking like. I mean, eyeliner is something that takes a little while to do, a little while to perfect in my book. So typically if I'm in a rush, I don't use eyeliner. But it just kind of takes the look to that next level. And then this next thing I'm going to do here is going to take it even higher. So, well, actually, no, it's not going to take it that much higher, but a good one, you know. Now, there's all sorts of things you can do. You know, there's really good mascaras out there that really beef up the lashes. And this one does a pretty decent job, too. This is the Covergirl Total Tease Mascara. But there's some that really give you some oomph, some length to them. Which is what I like, is a good lengthening mascara. I'm just putting this on my lashes here. I know I didn't curl them, but I will here in a moment once this is dried down a little bit. Because I'll use a couple coats of this. Lashes can make or break a look. You know. Now I'm just trying to use the comb part to kind of separate them out. Now, like I said, with the liner, it does help to look down into a mirror to do this. I've actually been pretty shaky lately. So, I definitely like looking down right now into a mirror because shaky hands is not a good thing whenever you're trying to do eyeliner or mascara or whatever. But that's the difference it makes. Mascara, no mascara. Now as I let this dry a little bit, I'm going to do the other eye. But yeah, mascara can really amp up almost any look you do. You know. Now I have done, recently actually, I went out and literally just threw on some mascara, a little bit of lipstick, you know, and did my brows. And after I do this, that's what we've got left besides lips. So, actually I don't need to curl my lashes today. I think this is getting better the more I use it, actually. Because I got some decent length this time. That's what that looks like. Okay, now for brows, I'm just taking my e.l.f. brow pencil here. And this is the one in taupe. Now, typically, anymore, I've been going for a darker brow. But this is more natural looking, you know. And I'm just filling those in a little bit. So, brows are also another thing that takes a little time for me, usually. But I'm kind of excited because I've placed a couple orders recently for items for on Black Friday. I've got a Shop Miss A order coming. I've got a e.l.f. order coming and an Ulta order coming. So, I really haven't ordered from Ulta before, so I'm kind of excited about that. I love Ulta, you know. They can be a little expensive in my book. But anymore, e.l.f. is even a little expensive. So, but Black Friday, they had all sorts of good sales. Black Friday, Cyber Monday type thing. So, my question to y'all is, do you want to see a massive haul with all the items, or would you rather see individual place hauls? You know, because I can do a massive haul and for one video and then do a try-on video, you know, with the items that y'all would like to see after that. Or I can do a haul and try-on at the same time for each one for some things. So, but this right here is the e.l.f. matte lipstick in rich red. You know, I mean, it is a bright Christmassy red. You know, and it's not too shabby on the tip. Okay. Feeling my lips to see if they were still chapped. If they were, I'd use my... Well, they're a little chapped, but not bad enough to use my exfoliator right now. So, but I take this and I'm just going to put this on my lips real good. I started my Cupid's bow. You kind of use this as a lip liner, or I do. See, that's what it looks like, just lined. I go around the lips first before I go in the middle. So, but to me, a classic holiday look is red lip. You know, I don't know about y'all. Now you could take and put a gloss on top of this as well. But for me, it seems to stay pretty well. And being a smoker, it's hard to find good lipsticks that stay really well. But I'm going to take my finger here, and I'll pucker my lips, do like a fish face, and put my finger in there. And see, whatever comes off on your finger is what would have come off on your teeth. So, that's the rich red. Let me show you what it looks like rolled up here. That's what it looks like, you know, in the tube. You know, so it's a good lipstick. Now, you could take and do a deeper color on the outsides. You could even do a different lip color altogether if you wanted to, do a natural lip. But to me, the real pretty bronzy gold looking eyes, you know, and all that just looks real pretty. Now with my hair, it's an awkward length for me right now. You know, it doesn't really like to go up that well, but it can get in my face if it's down. So let's just jump into like a style that I typically will do, especially if I'm in a hurry. I will brush my hair back. Now it doesn't get this top part really, but I'm going to brush my hair back. And I've got these little elastics. They're rubber bands, clear rubber bands is what they are. Reminds me of whenever I had braces. They're a little bit bigger than those. You know, but they're those there. And you can find those at the Dollar Tree, the clear ones, or there's even colored ones. But hopefully you'll be able to see what I do here. But I get a few of them out. It doesn't take long to do this hairstyle. That's why I thought I'd show it to you while I'm doing this get ready with me type video. You know, and I know I've chit-chatted along the way. Let me know if you like chit-chatty type videos like this, or if you just want to see straight up, get it done, son. Okay, now I'm going to take my hair. Now this is why it's so easy to do. You take your hair, and I do like a half pony, go like right where the arches of the brow are. Start there, and work my way back, like right above the crown of the head. I don't go right on the crown yet, but I do like that, and that's what it looks like from the front. Now you can keep gathering hair if you want to, like add more hair to it, but then I take my, I'm showing you how I prefer to do it, then I take me an elastic here. Now these are a little difficult sometimes to use. Here's my elastic. Now I'm going to go, I put it on there, but I don't go all the way to the bottom of this. And I only loop it around twice, just because I don't need it tight. Once is not enough, but twice is just enough. Alright, that's what it looks like there. Okay, now you take this, right here, you take it, and you split it right close to the middle. Now I'm not using a mirror in front of me here, because it takes both hands to do this. And then you push it up, take your ponytail and push it up, and go straight in, like that. Okay? And then I'm going to take this here and just pull it tight. Okay? And that's what it looks like from the front. Now you can do it just like that and stop if you want to. But what I typically do is I'll keep going. I'll just keep adding little ponytails here. Now I'm going to turn back around and show you here. Then I go kind of like you're French braiding in a way. But I go like right near the crown. Right, I start at like the temples where the eyebrows end. Go about there. Pull some hair. And I'm basically just doing the same thing here. I take another elastic, and this is more right at the crown of the head, and I put this elastic on. Now, like I said, I don't go all the way to the bottom with this. I go about, I guess, an inch from the root. Then I split that right in the middle. And we're going to do the same thing here. Push it up. And push it in. Okay? And you can just keep going as far down as you want to. Now, if you were born in the 90s, or were around in the 90s, rather, not born in the 90s, but if you were around in the 90s like I was, you know, this was really popular back then. It was considered the topsy tail. But once you do one, you just pull your hair to tighten it. You know, and I'm just going to keep going here. Go a little ways above the ear. The closer you can put these together, the more braid-like they're going to look. I mean, you can do real thin layers if you want to, but the more layers you do, the more time it takes. But I've done this many times, and I've learned to have it about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch from the root. Makes it a little bit easier to do the topsy tail than if you go all the way to the root, you know, because then it makes it a little bit more difficult to get in there. So, now typically what I'll do is, sometimes I'll go all the way down, but sometimes I'll stop at the half pony length. And that's what this would be here, what I'm doing now. Because my hair just tends to get shorter and shorter back here. So, it gets a little bit more difficult the lower I go. So, but that's what it looks like from the back now. Okay? And I will show you how I might gather up the rest here. Because as you can tell, there's not much hair down here now. But typically what I'll do is I'll take my hair and just gather it like I'm doing a regular ponytail. And that's what we are doing, exactly. You know, then I'll take my little hair tie here and put it around it. Now you can choose to leave it like that. That's what I typically will do. Now if you have longer hair, you can even take it, and instead of doing a topsy tail, put it just like that. You take it and push it up a little bit, and then you just use bobby pins to secure it down. You know, to where it looks kind of like a French braid in a way. You know, even my hair would work like that. I just typically leave it in a ponytail though. You know, that's what it would, somewhat what it would look like if I bobby pinned it. You know, then you can even bobby pin your sides back. You can tell my sides are rather long. So, take me a bobby pin here and show you what I'm talking about. Take you a bobby pin. Now, I don't go, you know, crisscrossy and a whole bunch of pins and all that stuff with this. You know, but put the textured side down. And it's important to buy pins that are somewhat close to your hair color. Like if you have blonde hair, you don't want to buy black bobby pins for this. You know, unless that's all you can find. But you can disguise them. And I'm going to show you more in depth over here as I do this side. I pull my hair, whatever's loose. And then this right here is the bobby pin. It has a ridged side and then a flat side. The ridged side is what you want to put near the, against the head, basically. And then I'll pull my hair taut on that side, go up, get that ridge in there, get it over that hair, and then just push it on up. And that right there is the finished makeup and hair. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please take a moment and give it a thumbs up. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a video. You can also follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook at BlindBeauty83, and on Twitter I'm BlindBeautyJen. Check the box below for more information, top videos, and my links. Have a great day.